What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to make the interior for your refresh series, Bowling Alley. Here it is. Honestly, it is a little bit dark, but it's it's not bad. Except for like the arcade, this thing is bright as the sun. Not really that bright, but anyway. Yeah, here is everything pretty much. Nothing crazy going on here. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this one, I guess. And, yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so the space we need for this is, well, I don't actually need any space. All you need is your bowling alley from probably yesterday, although I don't know, maybe you made this 2 minutes ago or 2 years ago. The materials we're needing, though, to start off are gray concrete, red concrete, white concrete, gray wool, my bad, polished deep slate slabs, spruce planks, birch planks, spruce doors, and we'll go spruce wood or logs or whatever. Is it spruce? Yeah, it is spruce. Starting off, you want to come inside your bowling alley, and the first thing you are going to do is... Why did I not get out polished deep slate blocks? Whatever, it's fine. You want to essentially coat every wall with the exception of the back wall in 2 layers of gray concrete. Well, I guess I'll share whatever. So left and right are fairly simple. Just make sure you leave the doorway open, obviously. Well, you're kind of forced to because, you know, the door is kind of on this portion. On the front, really, you're just going until you reach the main entrance, and you'll stop a block before it, which actually, there should be a gray wall there anyway, so you should be fine. But yeah, you don't particularly want to go... You don't want to particularly meet into it like that. You do just want this gap, which is for the polished deep side, because that's going to get brought back in a minute here. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Lighting will be later, like after we get the walls and floors and everything kind of set. I know that's kind of a weird way to go about it, but whatever. And then, next up on top of that gray concrete, you're going to do a pattern. And this pattern will go as follows. 3 rows of red concrete. And so actually what you want to do is you want smooth quartz, not white concrete, I apologize. And you want to place smooth quartz blocks, or 1 smooth quartz block row, 1 red concrete row, 1 smooth quartz block row, and then 1 red concrete row. And this will go pretty much all the way around what you just did. And this time it will actually end up going over the doorways. I believe it's the 3rd row of red, if I'm correct. Yes, I am. 3rd row of red will go across. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was white concrete. I guess because of the fact that I usually am using or I would typically use white concrete in a situation like this, and I could have sworn I did. But I guess I just inverted it pretty much. Although the 1 stripe is obviously pushed down, so it fits because the ceiling is weird. Oh yeah, you go over those doors as well. But I am. This probably will be a fairly long tutorial, but not that bad. The next refresh will be worse, trust me. Which is hospital. I believe I mentioned that in the exterior. Hopefully once hospital's done, or once you see it released, refresh should be more frequent. I know it's been a lot of, like, video game stuff with Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 having just released at the point of recording this. Chapter 10 was, like, a week ago. Or not even, it was, like... Was it Sunday? Maybe it was Sunday. No, yeah, it was Sunday. So, like... No, yeah, it's almost a week, actually. And, having, like, you know... FNAFs and statues and stuff. It'll go back to more city stuff. Whether or not that's a good thing is, I guess, debatable for you, but that's what I'm looking at. I just, I guess, had to get all of those out of my system because I have a million of them. As in statues and games as well, because there's still more. Like, as of right now, Poppy Playtime just finished. I have Ban Ban, Pizzeria Sim, UCN, And obviously Into the Pit was just done, so yeah, and then obviously I have all of the Hello Neighbor builds. So yeah, it's a lot. Anyway, you'll have this, pretty much. The back wall we don't layer again because it's nice to have the extra room, and also you have the weird things in the way. Why is that made like that? That's peculiar. Whatever, I don't know why I did that, but we're gonna stick with it because it's funny. Okay, next step. You want to take the polished deep slate around the doors and bring each block and or slab back by 2. You kind of can't bring the slabs actually back, so you'll just place an additional row of upside down slabs behind the black glass. Just use all slabs for this. We'll actually need the blocks later, but not yet. And we also have more layouts to do in a minute. Which, is that floor? Okay, that floor is different, so let's actually kind of point that out particularly. Because, yeah. So, the wall pattern, you want to... If you head to the front right-hand corner, you want to count back by... I can't count. 5. And place a gray concrete. Leave a gap of 1 going left. 3 gray. I almost missed the R there. Gap of 1, 2 gray. And then you'll take either the... I guess the easiest way to actually think of this is the second row or second block in on each of these rows if you can actually do that. And you'll just connect them forward to the front wall. And you'll do the pattern here with the everything. For the doorways, you want to make sure you have 3 blocks of space in them rather than 2 because of the floor that we have yet to add. Which I think will be our next step, actually. Because it pretty much is the only thing left that is glaringly obvious, is the floor. Bathroom ceilings are like absurdly high for pretty much no reason. So yeah, oh, I had night vision on. Oops, I should have shown you without night vision. Maybe I'll re-record that, or maybe I won't. It's fine, whatever. If I remember to, I will. Which, no promises on that one, but... There you go. You'll have this, pretty much. Now. From the bathrooms, because it's the furthest back and I'm lazy, you want to place going back from this wall 17 gray wool. Just like so. It should be along the floor, and I guess if you put it in the corner, good for you, because you'll just end up bringing it all the way across, and pretty much everything in front of this, except for what is inside of those bathroom rooms, you're going to want to fill in with gray wool. I'm doing this with a command, because if I don't do this with a command, my head is going to explode. And this video will be 3 years long, and I don't particularly want it to be 3 years long. I'll do 2, actually, because the aforementioned bathrooms. I'm in it. There you go. Now, you can get rid of... Can you get rid of anything, actually? That's a really interesting question. I guess the polished deep slate slabs for now. Get out polished deep slate blocks. You could, technically speaking, use slabs for this, but because it's a full row, I'm just going to do blocks. Oh, look, it's me. You want to place in front of this front row of gray wool a row of polished deep slate blocks. This is kind of the transition between the upper layer and the downer layer. You know what? Sure, we'll go with it. Only because it makes no sense. And now what you can do is the leftmost 3 rows of grass and the rightmost 3 rows of grass can be broken. And I'll tell you what you replace them with in a second, because there's a little bit more we actually have to break before we can get to that point in time. Of the thing. Yeah. This will also give you a hint as to where a couple of your little pathways are. Or I guess staircases. They're not really staircases because nothing about them says staircase, but... In addition to that, you will also break these back 2 rows of grass going across. Like... Give me a second, I swear, I'll get there. Like this. All of this will be filled in with birch planks, and also do not forget underneath these spruce doors here on the sides. You only want to go one block out though, and then you will have to just replace that door. But don't go out any further because that will be visible from the outside, and I don't want that. I mean, I guess if you want that, sure, but I don't want that, so don't do that. Anyway. Just like this. Fairly simple, I guess. We're just making a giant N. Particularly lowercase, if that matters. I guess you could say it's a U, but it's like an upside down U. So that's just a lowercase n. Ignoring the little, like, the H that an N has. Kind of. Like the little, like, line that the H has. I don't know what it's called. I don't know my letter terms. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not how you count. Wait, that is how you count. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, in case you were wondering what I was just counting, in the middle of this polished deep slate, you will break 20 rows of grass and replace them with spruce planks. I'll box the area and then just slash fill again. So it looks kind of like this. It's not a huge deal if you're like a block off, although you will notice when we make the, like, kind of the repetition, you'll notice. Also, side note, actually you can probably realistically, I feel like I did originally, but it's been a while since I made this, so I don't remember. But you should be able to, in theory, not slash fill, use a structure block to copy paste the lanes along with what sits in here. I'm not going to do that because no, but you can. Just do keep in mind that that is technically speaking an option. Okay, now even though we don't have the lanes, we're going to make the back wall before, or I guess behind the lane, something, words. And then we'll kind of just make the lanes based off of how the math of that works out. So, first off, in either of the corners, the back corners particularly, within the birch, you will break this grass block and place a spruce, wood, or log. It shouldn't matter. There's a couple spots where it matters. You'll then bring it up by 4. And again, do that in the other corner. So 5 in total, including the buried block, I guess, if you will. Anyway, now what you can do is you can break the grass in between these and connect it together with gray wool. I don't really know. Also, I've never been back here, so I don't know what it looks like, but I still figured I'd make a back room because it's funny. You'll then take the top spruce woods and connect them together with sideways spruce woods. I want to say stripped. I normally am using stripped. I guess this is more of an LN2 based comment, but still. I don't really use normal. Actually, I do use normal spruce wood a lot. I use spruce in general a frick ton. And then going either left to right or right to left doesn't matter. I guess I crossed for no reason now that I'm thinking about it. You're going to place 5 gray wool, gap of 2, 5 gray wool, gap of 2, 5 gray wool, gap of 2, 5 gray wool. I think you get the point. You're going to keep this pattern going. And in theory, you should end on 5 gray wool, and then you'll hit that pillar like this. Can you guess what the next step is? You want to copy that row 2 more times. Crazy, I know. Absolutely original? Unheard of. Unforeseen. This is so much wool. I don't understand. Why did I do this? I don't know why. Like, I'm still looking at this, like, what was my thought process with making particularly this gray wool? I don't care about the rest, just that. But whatever. I'm gonna leave it, because why would I change it now? Even though I do that in tutorials sometimes, but I don't know what I would do. So, you want to take the spruce woods on the sides, and also any of the sideways spruce woods that just have air below them, and you will bring them forwards with 3... give or take, and you'll see why I say that, 3 sideways spruce wood. I would go with 3. I'll explain that in a second why I said that, though. Because I have an actual reason instead of just throwing you for a loop for no reason. Although I do enjoy doing that sometimes as well, as I did earlier on accident with the smooth quartz rather than, or the white concrete rather than the smooth quartz. At least I noticed. And then in front of those, this is where the 4th comes in. You want to place a row of spruce wood in front of it that also breaks into the ground and goes all the way up to the height of the red concrete walls, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, including the one in the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will also be 2 blocks thick in a lot of areas, and that's fine. It'll be a little bit more logical as to why they're like this in a little bit. Particularly because of how I made the gutters. Okay, really? I guess there wasn't really a... Wait, I need the one in the floor. You need the one in the floor for later. Because there's going to be stairs that will kind of expose that. But, I guess there's really no logical way to make the gutter... You only take a 1 block space. I guess you could do some weird thing with, like... stairs and then have each lane offset by a half a block or something. I mean, I know it's not the best way to do it, but, like... Obviously, my way is the best. I'm just kidding. It's probably a better way than what I've done. But, you know, that's kind of the first thought that came to my mind. Because I do things like that sometimes where I off-center things to make math work. Anyway, you should have this now. Where the spruce wood connects back, you want to connect these pillars together with gray concrete. Just like this. This was a fun one because I actually was thinking about doing the same thing I did in the custom FNAF bowling alley where I had like the slanted roof, but I ended up not because I like the exterior better with the flat roof. Anyway, above that, you're just doing alternating rows of red concrete and smooth quartz, and you'll notice it will end up actually lining up with the sidewalls if you just start with red. And yeah. I do apologize for having us being like... It'll probably have been 20 minutes in before we get the ceiling lighting in. But the ceiling lighting doesn't actually do a lot. Again, if I fix the darn intro clip, you'll see that. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I have night vision on for the hospital that the refresh hospital that I've been constantly working on. So, yeah, and I just usually forget to take it off. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, 800 minutes? Yeah, I won't remember. But I don't want to, like, hit you for a false advertising curveball, you know? Although, I guess it depends on how bad it looks. Not actually. But, yeah, I tried to do a lot of lighting with other things rather than just the ceiling, because the ceiling lighting really just kind of is there for looks. It barely actually lights up the floor because of how high it is. But anyway, you should have this. Things are starting to shape up. There is kind of one more thing we should probably do right now. On these sides here, on the left and right, you want to take whatever, the spruce wood here, and you want to go kind of back diagonally out and place a gray concrete. Bring it out with a spruce door and then another gray concrete. I did that inverted so the door has the handle to the right, although it doesn't matter. Bring each gray concrete up by 1. And then place a sideways row of spruce wood on top of that whole thing. And then it's just a matter of connecting to your wall with the proper blocks. So red concrete, 2 rows. Smooth quartz, red, smooth quartz, red. And you're doing the same thing on the other side. So again, a block in, gray concrete either side, spruce door in the middle, spruce wood above, and then it's just a wall. Just like this. And you can see things are starting to actually look like a bowling alley, sort of. Of course the ceiling has to have polished deep set. Okay, so we actually... we have to do one more thing as well before we even get to the lighting. However, I'm not going to focus on it just yet because, yeah. Although the ceiling uses polished deep set, which is why I'm a little bit annoyed. Anyway, you can clear your inventory and get out. Polished blackstone stairs. I almost said deep slate. That's not quite right. Oak planks. Polished blackstone buttons. End rods. Smooth stone. Black concrete. Orange terracotta. Mangrove planks and mangrove slabs. And this will be able to get us to the point to where we'll actually start doing physical lighting, not just end rods. So the first thing you want to do is this entire chunk of grass that you have right here, you want to break it. Let me confirm everything that I'm not stupid. Okay, yeah, you're breaking literally every single grass block here. It's easier to just start with this rather than doing it later. I gotta make sure that I remember, because of the spruce, though, to not just do slash fill air, replace grass. And there you go. I'll give you a second. Now, going left to right or right to left doesn't matter, although do keep in mind the stair direction. You want to place a polished blackstone stair. This one is facing right if you're on the left. If you're on the left, or if you're on the right, it's facing left. Just facing basically away from the birch. And then you want 5 rows of oak planks. Polished blackstone stairs facing into that. Polished blackstone stairs facing away from that. 5 oak planks. 5 polished blackstone stairs facing into that. 5 polished blackstone stairs facing away from that. 5 oak planks, and I think you already know the pattern. It's back-to-back stairs, and then 5 planks, and then back-to-back stairs, and then 5 planks, and then whatever, until you're just end with 1 stair facing into the oak. Rather than the birch. Don't do it into the birch. That's not very nice. To the oak. To the birch, it's kind of mean, but the birch deserved it anyway. It's kind of crazy how many wood variants are in this build, now that I'm really looking at it. Spruce, oak, birch, spruce logs, like, dark oak doors. I got everything. Anyway, you want to bring each of these blocks all the way to the back until they go 1 further than the spruce wood. Specifically with the oak, actually. The polished blackstone stairs will just go back the additional 2 rows that you'll have, but the oak is going back to basically in line with this wall right here. And it'll leave you with 2 blocks of space at the back here. Again, at least where the oak is. Where the stairs are, there will be a 0 block gap. Because the stairs travel through. But yeah, again, I kind of just guessed for the back there, I'm not going to lie. Pretty much, we've already done everything that is back there, other than the ceiling. I didn't add anything crazy. Although I did add a ceiling, which we have to do still. Which we'll do in a minute. That'll be after we finish up these lanes here. Which, again, won't be too bad either. Just kind of tedious. So that's, like, the main problem with a lot of these builds. Oh, I didn't bring that back. Nice. Is they're just kind of, like... A lot of it is just grinding. Like, grinding to place all of these oak planks. Or grinding for the ceiling, you know? It's a lot of just... kind of numb-minded placing. But it's not bad, I guess. Kind of everything does need that at some point. I think even if you're going overly detailed, I think you'll hit a point to where you're just detailing the same thing over and over again. And it's going to get a little bit mind-numbing, especially if you're just texturing. Texturing is so just like... I don't want to say relaxing, because I find it boring, but it is kind of has that, I guess, more laid-back vibe. You don't have to think what you're doing, which is sometimes nice. I guess depending on how you're texturing. If you're trying to texture with a gradient, you're thinking a little more. But if you're texturing like I did in LN2 or something, there's not much thinking going on. It's more so just, okay, blocks here. Done. But yeah, no one bad at least. I did find it boring because it was the same, like, 5 blocks over and over again. And then even when it changed, it was still the same kind of terrain. I never textured anything really different than that. I mean, it was really, like, beyond Chapter 1, it was just trash piles that got textured. And And I guess sometimes, like, walls stains and stuff a little bit, but that was mainly just another block rather than the wall block. Yeah. Probably my favorite type of, like, any sort of, I don't want to say texturing, but, like, thing like that to do is those gardens that I do sometimes. I haven't done them in a while, though. I used to do them more often. But where I have, like, the drip leaf and the bamboo and everything mixed in, I think that's probably one of the nicest things I've come up with. I'm sure it's not original. I'm sure somebody else has done it, but I never saw anything on it, so I will in fact say that I made it. Although, like, again, it's not like I pulled out, like, the heavy core and somehow turned it green, no. It was just kind of dots. Anyway, you'll have this now. Yay, we're getting there. So, on every other block, starting from the second one, actually, on these stairs, you want to place an end rod. So, on the, again, first one leaving open, second one, end rod, fourth one, sixth one, eighth one, whatever. And you're going to do this on every single row of stairs, except you won't go beyond the spruce. And you will end up having them in line on these rows here, like you'll have two next to each other, and that's not bad necessarily. But yeah, this could be, I guess, a couple things. It could be 1, the gutter railing, it could be 2, just there for funnies, or 3, lighting, like what it actually kind of serves here. If you don't like it, you could even replace it with light blocks if you so choose and are aware on how to get light blocks. If not, I would honestly just keep with the end rods. Although light blocks are literally just /give @s light_block. It's not really complicated. And it will also, like, it has an option for each light level now as well, which is great. Although you could just get literally any of them and then be like, you could just click it with the light block in your hand, and it'll change the value. Which I guess if you're making, or placing as many as I'm placing these end rods, then, you know, that's a bit more unfortunate, but, you know. Yeah, I guess you get the point that I'm trying to make, at least. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, really? Darn it! Darn it! I'm breaking everything. I'm getting rid of these end rods, so I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna grab them back, though. I just needed to fix my floor. Okay. One more thing with the lanes, and then we'll move on to not the lanes. So from the, I guess, front either corner, doesn't really matter. You want to start by counting back by 4. And place a polished blackstone button. Going back diagonally inward, you'll place 2 more polished blackstone buttons, and then going forward diagonally, I guess the same direction, you'll place 2 more polished blackstone buttons, like this. So you should have an arrow of them. And pretty much this is really easy, because you'll just take this last button and count to the either left or right by 3, and then you'll just start the next one there. And you'll keep doing this in all the lanes. It would probably be better if your buttons face like that, to where the short end of the texture is facing towards the opening, or towards the end in front of the lane, but it's not a huge deal if it doesn't. I think I actually intentionally made sure that it was like this when I was making the lanes originally, so I think it looks a lot better like this, but I kind of forgot to mention that anyway, so it's not really a huge deal if you can. Plus, I wonder if you could set block and, like, rotate it. I don't think you can, but that'd be an interesting thought. Anyway. One more thing before we start to kind of get this side situated. Behind here, well, actually 2 things, I lied. You should have 2 rows of probably dirt. They might not be dirt, they might be something else. You want to break them and replace them with black concrete. If you don't have space to do this for whatever reason, you can just place black carpet over top. I don't know, maybe you're building this on the bedrock level for funnies, but height limit style. But yeah, it is better to do it this way. And the other step is just the ceiling, which is smooth stone. At least in this particular area. The whole ceiling is polished deepslate, just this little area is smooth stone. If you actually want, alternatively, you could black out the tops of these as well. Like the tops of these little segments that we have, because I feel like that would make it more like, oh no, there's something up there, but we can't see it because it's too dark or whatever. I don't know. I didn't make the pin machines. I also didn't make the pins, if you can't tell. Because I don't really think there's a good way to... Yeah, there's no real good way to go about it, except for, like, pushing armor stands or something. But I wasn't going to go through all that. Anyway, the ceiling back here is smooth stone, 1 block above the level of the spruce wood. So I'm just going to do it like this. I might actually just fill the whole thing. It'd be easier anyway. I don't know. What's easier anymore? Like... yeah. What would take less time? I guess it doesn't really make a difference. Well, if I can get a sprint row going like this, then it's quicker. This row is completely useless, though. I don't know why I'm even placing it. Darn it. What the... Let me place the blocks. Oh my god. Okay, well, this is failure. This is failure. It's not a failure, it's just failure. Just failing. Next trademark. Coming 2096. Anyway. That would be old in 2096. Anyway, you'll have something that looks like... That looks no different, actually. Why did I show you out here? Whatever. The point is, there's a ceiling over there. Let's move on, because we're already 30 minutes in and have pretty much made zero progress towards the ceiling. Although, at least we'll never have to go really beyond that point anymore. It's just the spruce and forward. So, heading to the front left-hand corner. Yeah, math is hard. You want a place going all the way up to the height of the ceiling of, or the top of the red orange terracotta. So it should be, I think, 8 orange terracotta. Yes, I'm correct. Or 8 orange terracotta in the corner. You will take the 4th one up and place an upside down mangrove slab off either side. That's not even the 4th one up. What am I doing? You'll place a mangrove plank on top of either one, and then go out from that plank with 2 more planks. Go out from those end planks with 3 upside down slabs. And then you can actually place a full row of planks on top of just that whole thing. Then bring these planks out an additional 8. And then you'll take the, I guess, first 2 overhanging ones and leave them open. And on this 3rd one, you'll go... Still going out along the row, you'll place 3 upside down mangrove slabs, 3 planks, which will leave you at the end here, and then below that final plank, you'll place an upside down mangrove slab. So again, gap of 2, 3 upside down slabs, 3 planks, upside down slab at the below that end plank. You will place a row of orange. Actually, do I want to? You'll place 2 rows of orange terracotta just beyond that. That again is the height of the wall, and it should just be flat along the wall as well. That's not even the right block. There we go. Just like so. That pattern you just made, you want to do the same thing coming in from these front rows here. So it's really just 1, 2, 3, and then 2 at the top. I'm just going to make it and then show you again what it looks like. Whoop. 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 That's pretty good, actually. I knew the position. And yeah, there you go. Like that. You'll place a row of orange terracotta just at the end of either of these rows, and again, make sure that it does just go... It's 2 higher than the mangrove, I guess is the easier way to remember this particular portion. And then you will have this weird corner, so you'll just fill it in with orange terracotta. On actually both the outside and inside. So you'll have a full pillar here. It's funny that each corner is different. It starts by 1 and then goes to 2 and then goes to 4. Anyway, on top of the mangrove, you will place 2 rows of black concrete. We'll come back to this later. You do place it on all sides. Oh my god, words sometimes, all the time. And never at the same time. What? That made no sense. Anyway, you'll have something that looks like this. It's time for probably the worst part of this build, and that is the ceiling. This is gonna take a long time, I'm just warning you right now. You want to get out polished deep slate and sea lanterns. I'm not even gonna get out anything else because it just doesn't matter. So we'll start with the smaller sections because they're smaller. First off, head to this weird box we just made, which is, by the way, a little arcade section. And a block above the walls, you want to place a trim of sea lanterns going around the outside. Just like this. With the one corner, just don't worry about it. You will end up going either on top of this orange terracotta or just not placing one there at all, but don't go in at all. So you'll have this. You'll then just fill in the middle of this in with polished deep slate. This is still painstaking, even though it's not that big. Although, yeah, this is a big area and as a pattern. If you, again, the pattern doesn't make a huge difference. I mean, it lights up some for sure. But, like, if you don't have night vision, you'll notice in here it's still not that bright. Like, I had to add end rods to make it even bright. Although, I guess if you wanted to, technically speaking, stop the pattern where the lanes start, I'm not opposed to that. Particularly to save time more than anything. Anyway, either bathroom, you should know the drill at this point. It's just a sea lantern in the direct center. I still don't have the floors in there. That's cool. We'll get there eventually. The floors are stone brick if you want to put them in right now. Actually, I might. Yeah, I might as well while I'm right here. Stone brick floors. Okay, I was like, do I have a vending machine or something? I do. I don't know why that just, like, popped in my head randomly. I just, like, randomly had the thought, like, is there a vending machine in this build? Anyway. What you did with the arcade, you're going to do the same thing with this main area. So, again, one block above the height of the walls, you're going to place a row of sea lanterns going all the way around the build. And it will kind of just wrap around like a snake. Pretty much it is the same thing as usual, sharp corners and everything, which I guess is important. Except for on the back here, you will just kind of have it just go diagonally here around that spruce wood. I believe that was because of the fact of how small this little area is. I didn't want to make it... I don't want to have just like a one block gap there. That's the only spot that has anything weird going on, though. The rest is, again, just a sharp-cornered style. Okay, before we do anything else, I want to make sure that I have this number on speed dial? Sure, we'll go with that. From the left and the right, you want to place 3 rows of polished deep slate from this row of sea lanterns. The reason it is 3 is because the pattern works out to be 2 rows available off either side here. Which would mean the other sea lanterns would be in line, or I guess the sea lantern pattern would be in line with the sea lantern row, and I did not want that. Or be touching it, I guess, rather. That would be a little bit more logical to say. Words are hard. And I stick by that. Like so. Off of the main front row and main back row, you'll place a full row of polished, just one row of polished deep slate this time. So off of this, this row here on the front, and then I'm talking the big row here on the back, you will end up, well, I guess that's filled in anyway on the side, so never mind. Just the only row of sea lanterns that is important. Particularly in the back left or back right is where you should start this pattern. You'll place a sea lantern, 2 polished deep slate, sea lantern, 2 polished deep slate, sea lantern, etc. And you're going to keep this pattern going all the way. Now, if you don't want the pattern at the back like I was mentioning, I would have your first sea lantern above this first oak plank here. And then the rest is whatever. I'm going to do something interesting here, and I'm actually going to not time-lapse this for this reason. I'm going to do, let's say, 3 light pattern rows, and then I'm going to structure block it. And the reason I'm going to do this is because if I do this manually, I'm not going to... I just can't do it, you know? It's too many blocks. So I'll end up probably having to manually do a good portion of it anyway still because of the front being further out. But I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here. So I am placing the third row here and then I am stopping. Hopefully the structure... I should have probably thought about this before, huh? Okay, actually that's good. Because that just means I'll place it at the very end here. So, I have the third row. I'm going to actually go into Electrify so I can get up into this one block space, and then I'll be 2 rows over from this sea lantern and on this first polished deep set, and I'll place my structure void. I'll check which way is going front to back in the build, and it is X, so I'm going to make my X. I'll start with 64, and it's not that long. That looks like it's about 13, so I'm going to just go with a flat 50 and see. I hit F11, didn't I? Yeah, okay. A flat 50 in C. And that is about 5 rows too long, so I'm actually going to go 44. No, it's not quite. I think it's 46. Yeah, it's 46. I'll make my Y just 1 since it will sit on this anyway. I just accidentally closed OBS. There we go. And then I'll make the Z, which is just the remaining one, like 8 maybe? 9. It should be 9. 9, and then I'll save it as whatever. I always just save it as G because that was a console-oriented thing, to where G was just always where the cursor started, so I always just press G, and I still do it on computer. And then I will break the structure block, and I'll just move over to the first empty row, and you see right here, I'm going to place my structure block, and I probably still want to be up in the ceiling, because when I load this as G, you'll see that row of polished sheep, so it'll be in it. That's not a problem. You'll want to break it again, and then you'll just keep doing this pretty much over and over again. Can I just place that? Yeah, okay. And you're going to do this until you see blocks on the right side, basically. And so, this should work well. If you're following, yay. If you're not, that's not a problem. It doesn't really matter. This is just faster, which is why I'm doing it. And you see right here, this will probably be the last one, and it should work perfectly. So my big brain got lucky there because I happen to just do the right amount. But the rest here I'm literally just going to manually do because it doesn't really matter. And I guess I'll leave it in because this video is already going to be 1 hour. Why not make it an hour and a half? And also, of course, I'm getting DM'd. This is the second... I really need to start setting my status when I'm recording. Although I feel like that doesn't matter because people will still DM me anyway. Except for there's a few people that I feel like will actually hold back for like a couple minutes and be like, okay, so he's recording. Let's not DM him. But I feel like most people are just going to be like, oh, what's that? You're recording? Too bad. Because I feel like if I have a ping from somebody, I want to check it because I feel like it's got to be important, right? Even though it's probably somebody asking what my favorite brand of cheeseburger is. But anyway, not that that's particularly related. I feel like that gets pointed out a lot in these videos to where I'm getting DM'd by somebody. Not to say I don't want to be DM'd, just I don't want to be DM'd while I'm trying to, you know, focus on whatever the heck I'm building right now. It's already hard enough. I don't need it to be any harder, per se. Almost there. And if you did the structure block for the whole thing and you're waiting for me, or if you're somehow a speed demon like that, good job. I'm almost done. Anything else to point out? Not really. Refresh Hospital may actually be split up into parts. I think I mentioned this also in the exterior, but I have short-term memory loss, and I can't remember what I said like a week ago. So, yeah, exterior will be 1, interior will probably be 2 at the rate we're going. But I'm not sure how I would split it up, because it's pretty much either I put 2 floors in one, or I put... It's pretty much 2 floors in one and 1 floor in the other. Because the rest of the floors are going to be structure blocked, which, yeah, I'm sorry about that if anybody hates structure blocks with a burning passion, because I love them, and I'd rather spend 2 hours on a tutorial rather than 18. And yes, it is pretty much that much of a dramatic difference. The structure blocks are that important. I'll go through it, like, step by step by step by step by step. So you'll be fine. Anyway. That's your ceiling. Done. I've been playing too much Lethal. I keep forgetting which way to scroll. I figured I'd point that out. Anyway, we're gonna start with the spruce and just kind of slowly work backwards and finish things. So we'll start off by getting out polished blackstone. Actually, all three versions. So the block, the stair, and the slab. Screw the walls. We don't like walls here. Just kidding. I love walls. You also need dark oak trapdoors, stone button, tripwire hook, crimson, nope, mangrove button, sorry. I don't even know what I was thinking. Crimson stairs, and we'll go with the polished deep slate slabs that we should have gotten out, or we should have gotten blocks instead of earlier. But you win some, you lose some. I really can't speak any of the above. Okay, so at each lane divider, which is not the bumpers, my floor, the gutters, holy goodness, particularly the 2-block wide ones, you want to leave a gap of 7, aka count to the 8th spruce. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and place a polished blackstone from each one. I'm literally just going to count it like this instead, leaving gaps of 5 between them, although I'm not even counting. I'm just kind of seeing where it will line up to these stairs. I'm off by a block. So you should have... oh my god, sorry. You should have 8 of them. You will bring each polished blackstone block back by 1. I'm going to do each of these at the same time. I recommend you do the same, because I'm not instructing this 8 different times. And then place slabs on top of each one. Or each block, I should say. Each one, each block. It gives the same message, I think. I might actually finish this today. I'm shocked. Off of the back blocks, you're going to place tripwire hooks off of the left and right. And off the front ones, you're going to place stone buttons. The tripwire hook is the little foot pedal. At least that's how my bowling alley works. It does like a foot pedal where you... I want to say it's where you reset the pins. One of them is for resetting the pins. I think one of them is for calling balls or something. I forget. I haven't been to a bowling alley in years. I don't go bowling, like, often at all. I love going bowling, though. It's fun. Anyway, then behind each polished blackstone block here with the stone button on it, you're going to place a stair facing away from each other. So it's left on the left block, right on the right block. That's, I guess, the best way to look at it. This is in front, isn't it? Frick, whatever. In front of that, then you'll place polished blackstone stairs facing forward. I guess I'm glad that I mentioned the stone button part, because I forgot the other particularly important portion. Anyway, then, around each of these, around the polished blackstone stairs, you're going to place dark oak trap doors like so. I don't know why I said it like that, but I did. This is the little, this particular portion of it is where the balls come out, and, you know, they'll, like, come out of, like, a hole right here or something and just go around and pile up. I don't have any bowling ball racks now that I'm thinking about it. I'm pretty sure my other bowling alley interior did. This one doesn't. I guess it's not a huge deal, considering I have ball catchers. Anyway, you'll have this. Now, from each of the lanes here, we're going to do this. We're going to take the center of the lane, and you're going to trace it all the way forward until you hit the final spruce plank, where you'll place a crimson stair facing back forward. And again, you're going to do this on each. I'm going to kind of just do it like this. I'm going to just say, frick it. If it's not the center, I'll notice pretty quickly. Right, like there. Oh, the block off is close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is what it should be. 6? What? Where does that come from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh? Why is it 6? 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, because 2 from either... Okay, yeah, I'm stupid. I took the 5. I didn't consider the fact that the middle doesn't count. And then you'll bring the stair left and right by 2. And again, I'm doing all of these at once. I advise you do the same, unless you want to do like 2 at a time, and then you just not listen to me ramble for a couple minutes. I guess that'll give you some peace and quiet, won't it? Anyway. You'll then take the end stairs and bring them back towards the lanes, which is backward by 1, and you're just gonna kind of follow the trajectory of what would make sense for the stair direction to face. AKA left on the left side it faces right, and on the right side it faces left. I just gave you the answer. That's the answer key in case you need it. So you'll have this. From the middle block in this, which you want to be on a spruce plank particularly, you will count back by 2 and place a crimson stair facing backward here. Just like so. Ooh, there we go. You'll then place a polished blackstone behind that with a block left and right of said original polished blackstone. So you'll have rows of 3. I have the TVs, don't I? I really hope I have the TVs. I don't have the TVs. What the hell? We'll add them. It's fine. I'll throw them in for you. Although I'll probably actually take a cut before I do. So, on each of these polished blackstone thingies, you will place a mangrove button off the left and right and a stone button off the middle. Unfortunately, where the buttons on the bowling lanes look nice, or the direction that they look nice, these do not. Just a little bit of a problem. Again, I'm scrolling the wrong way. I need to stop playing Lethal Company, I swear. I have like 80 hours on that, over 80 hours on that game now. Shot up from like 26, I think it was. It's a problem. Anyway. One last thing before we can make the TV screens, because I just added them on the original. Pretty much on each polished deepslate block that you want to place a polished deepslate slab behind it. The big exception here is this first spruce plank row, you're leaving this one open. But on the rest of the birch, you are having, in fact, a thing there. As in a slab, and not a thing. Words, that's all. Just like so. We're just gonna get out what we need for finishing, basically, this front portion. What they are nether brick fences, stone brick walls, and block of coal. So on each polished deep slate block that does not have a slab behind it, you're placing a nether brick fence on top. It's mainly just where the crimson fence, or crimson stairs, are located. Plus, like, one additional block out on the far ones there. So, for the TV screens, I'll show you one, and then I'll explain it again, and then I'll just do them all at once after I do the first one. So, you want to take the first spruce plank in line with the middle here of the bowling lane, as in the one closest to it. You will count forward by 1 and look up and come to the ceiling. Place going down 4 stone brick walls. Left and right of that bottom stone brick wall, you'll place a couple of more stone brick walls. In front of each of those, place a block of coal. Bring those blocks of coal left and right by 1, and then bring that whole row of 5 down by 1. It is a little bit oblong, but it was either pretty much 5 or 3, and 3 didn't look right, so I went with 5. If you wanted to make it like blackstone slabs or something and add another row of slabs, you totally could. I didn't know. So again, first spruce plank, you'll count out by 1 up to the ceiling, 4 walls down, left and right by 1 from that bottom block of coal off the front that extends to the sides by 1, and then down a row. These are the screens where they play the absolute horrors, that is, whatever the heck those strike videos are. They scare me. 4, 5, 6. Again, it's just a 6-block gap thing that I'm doing right now. Just gonna make sure that I'm lined up, because I'm not really counting. I'm kind of just saying, yup, that's about right. Like, right there, it looks about right, and I am, in fact, on the dot. I have this thing to where, obviously only if it's a small enough number, but I can pretty much count a number without actually counting it and, like, know what it is. Like, I got those 6s without actually, because I was talking, so I'm not going to be able to count and talk at the same time. I just kind of roughed out how far it should go. And I was right both times, which is kind of sad, but impressive. Although, just because it's impressive doesn't mean that it's good. Again, it shows I play too much Minecraft as well. Although at least that's more consistent than the frickin' random lethal spike. I should really check my, like, last, like, amount of time on Steam or my recently played hours. Because it's probably an absurd amount. Anyway, that is this portion of the bowling alley done. That's nice. We are a little bit closer. We're gonna save the arcade for last, I decided right now. And we're gonna start with the front area. So we're gonna do this in kind of segments. First segment should be the middle here, and then the last segment will be that. So, clear your inventory and get out. Polished deep slate stairs, that's not it, there we go. Blue concrete. Dark oak trapdoors. Dark oak slabs. Glass blocks. Glass panes. Either string or barriers, it doesn't matter, although I just like barriers better because they're invisible. Warp stairs and white carpet. And that actually is perfect. I'm so good at this game. So if you head to the back right gray pool, I need to keep reminding myself this is the back here. You want to start by counting forward by 6. And right here, you'll place a blue concrete. In front of it, you want a polished deep slate stair facing left. And then on top of that, you'll place 2 blocks of glass per block. So 2 by 2. Off the sides of this, if you're looking at it, you'll place dark oak trapdoors opened up against the sides. And then you'll have dark oak slabs on top. That's a little vending machine where you can get stuff. If you want, you can also make the red concrete behind the glass a block because of the fact that the walls are double layered. I guess I, like, forgot about that or something happened. I don't know. Brain said, nah, you don't need to do that. So I didn't. Anyway, you want to be on the gray wool just to the left of the polished deep slate stair. And from it, you will count left by 8. Right here, you will place a warp stair facing left with a glass pane to the left of it. Bring that glass pane forward and backward by 1, and then you will take those ends and extend them to the left by 6. Connect them on the far side together. You can, from this middle glass pane, place a warp stair facing right of it, and then you'll leave a gap of 3, and you will do the exact same thing. Warp stair on either side, and all. Wait, what was this number? It was 6, wasn't it? 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it was 6, okay. I guess I could have actually counted it again on my other account, but who cares about that? And you want 3 of these tables. Like so. We'll touch them up in a second here. Off of the furthest, or off the corner glass panes, you'll place warp stairs like this. And then you should be able to leave a 1 block gap moving in from either of those and place another warp stair, which will give you 4 on the long sides. Like this, and again, you're doing this on each table. That was kind of a horrible explanation, I apologize, but it's just every other block, pretty much. In the middle of these rectangles of glass panes, you'll place rows of either barrier or string, whatever you got out. And then you will cover all of this in white carpet, particularly the glass panes and the barriers. Leave the warp stairs alone. They didn't do anything. They don't deserve that. Well, one of them. This guy does, definitely, but I'll spare him this time. Maybe next time. Anyway, there you go. That's one section done. Time for the next section. Why do I still have banners and a loom on me? Do I have a loom? I do have a loom. Why do I have these? What are these from? What had blue banners? Auntie Anne's? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Clear your inventory if you didn't already and get out. Hey, look, strip spruce wood. It was about time that it showed up. Stone bricks again. Oak planks. Oak stairs. Nether brick fence. stone brick stairs, flower pots, polished tuff. I guess this is when it just came out, when I made this. And we'll go blue concrete, I guess. That's really the best way I can think to go. So, on the right side where the bathrooms are, you want to take not the corner gray concrete, but the one in front, and you want to bring it left with 11 strip spruce wood facing sideways. Just going to make sure that I mathed that properly, which I did. If you want this corner to be upward facing, you can. By the way. You'll then bring that corner then back with forward, with 3 strip spruce. And then you'll take not the backmost one, but one in front, and bring it left by 10. And then you can go forward by 1 from that one. In front of that end strip spruce, you'll break these 2 gray wool. And then you'll pretty much break all the way right until you reach this strip spruce, which you will stop the block before it, where this kind of sticks out. And everything within this little, I guess, portion of the counter area, you will fill this floor in with stone bricks. Only because there's, like, food stuff here, I figured I would change the floor to not be carpet. There we go. Off of either one of these counters, you'll pretty much leave a 3-block gap from either side and a 3-block gap from each other, and place 2 stone brick stairs facing backward. On the leftmost counter, you'll place flower pots to the right of these stone brick stairs. Now, it's time to just, like, delete an entire section of our wall. It's not really a big section. Behind the counter that sticks out a little bit more, you want to break going across here 5, 7, 9, 11 gray concrete. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That will break to just behind this strip spruce, which is good. You'll then break 5 additional rows up, and you'll make sure you just break this entire rectangle out. Just like so. Every other row starting from the first and hopefully ending on the last, you'll place columns of oak planks going top to bottom. I guess I normally would say rows, but I don't know, I figured I'd specify the fact that they're columns. That looks trippy for some reason. What the... Maybe it's because there's stairs, and the stairs are being weird. I don't know. Something about that looks, like, weird. It's almost an optical illusion, isn't it? At least it looks like it to me. It looks like the smooth core should be sticking out further, but it's not. At least if I'm not looking down. Anyway, going top to bottom in each of these remaining rows, or bottom to top, you'll place oak stair, upside down oak stair, upside down oak stair, upside down oak stair. And you're going to do this in each of the rows, which should give you these kind of... It'll give you a crosshatch pattern where you have these little, like, holes in the walls. Like so. On the other counter, going from this furthest, we'll say right stone brick if you're looking backwards, you're going to leave this first one open, place 2 polished tuff, blue concrete, gap of 2, 2 polished tuff. To finish this off, you want to get out stone pressure plate, a weighted pressure plate light, I believe? Heavy weighted pressure plate, which is the iron one. They changed the names of those. It used to be weighted pressure plate and then in parentheses, whatever it was. Weird. Bamboo slab. Actually, I've been getting out 1, so I'll keep that going. Yellow stained glass blocks, or a block. Is that the one? Magenta. Is that magenta or purple? I can't tell. Okay, it's purple stained glass, my bad. Close enough. Tripwire hooks. And polished tough slab. Fix this, please. Like, if you're gonna update anything, fix this. This annoys me so much. Anyway, going right to left on top of everything, you'll place on this first polished tuff a stone pressure plate. On the second, an iron pressure plate. Oh, we need a glass block. How did I forget that? I'm crazy. On the blue concrete, you'll place a glass block and then a bamboo slab, which I think is pretzels, if I remember correctly. And then on the other two polished tuff, you'll place yellow stained glass and purple stained glass. On top of either of those, you'll place polished tuff slabs. And then off the back side, you'll place tripwire hooks. Side note, again, I'm missing something. I don't have a single composter in here. Let me actually change that real quick on the original. If you want a composter with an oak trap door anywhere, I would put one on the opposite side of the doorway from where we are. And also, you want them in the bathroom as well. I actually just told you to get it out. We didn't use another brick fence, darn it. You want it, essentially, if you head into the bathroom, it'll be to the right in the corner. Clear your inventory and get back out nether brick fence, because I'm slow and forgot it. Strip mangrove wood. What? Why did it not get out the nether brick fence? Are you seeing this? Dark oak sign. Glow ink sack. White dye. Birch door. Smooth quartz block. Smooth quartz stair, and birch trap door. So, starting off, you want to take the corner. We're going to pretend like this is the back wall for now, just because it makes it so much easier. You want to take this corner of the strip spruce that is kind of sticking out, for this back one, I guess, and you'll place going back from it 4 nether brick fence. You will then go left from that end one and place 7 nether brick fence. Gap of 1. 1 nether brick fence. Go back by 2. And then right by 7. From the front right-hand corner, we'll say you'll count back by 1 and place going right 8 nether brick fence. Leave a gap of 1, place 1 nether brick fence. Go back by 2, and then left by 8. And there you go, there's your little lines. Because you have to wait to get your shoes or to get food, I decided. Anyway, in either doorway here for the bathrooms, let's direct our attention to these, you'll place birch doors. The red concrete above each birch door you will break and replace with a sideways facing stripped mangrove wood or log, doesn't matter. On either of those, you'll place a sign and go down a line and type men on one and women on the other in preferably all caps. Right click each one once with a glowing ink sac and once with a white dye. I used to say left click because controller it's left click to place. And I kind of feel awkward about that because I'm like, oopsies. Sorry if anybody is actually listening to that and not realizing that, oh wait, that's not right. So I just broke the sign. Anyway, in either bathroom. I'll give you a second. Place a smooth quartz block in the back center. Towards you from, actually, towards you from that, you'll place an upside down smooth quartz stair. On top of that stair, a birch trap door. And then on top of the original block, you'll place another smooth quartz block. Do that in both very quickly before we move on to the next step. Oh yeah, record time. You just need a lever and a cauldron, and that's it. You'll place a lever off the left of the top block, and in the front left-hand corner, you'll count back by 1. Place a cauldron, lever above it powered on. I never use tripwire hooks for these. Actually, Refresh Hospital will, funnily enough. But outside of that, I never do. Refresh Hospital has a weird reason for it, though. But, yeah. That's... bathroom's done. Now, for the arcade, we're going to start with the part of the arcade that is, dare I say, a little more annoying. So, if you start off by getting out a loom, some black banners, some black dye and some light blue dye. You want to... Wait, is it light blue or is it cyan? Hold on, don't get it out yet. It is light blue, okay. It looks cyan for some reason to me. You want to place your loom on the ground, and for your first banner, it will be an A. And you want to put in your black banner and put in your light blue dye. You're going to do the line across the top, which is Chief Fess, and then put in a black dye, and do the diamond, which is Lozenge. Haha, I have the name sort of memorized. Place back in your light blue dye. Place line down the right and also down the left, which is Pale Sinister and Pale Dexter. And then do the line across the middle left to right, which is Fess. R, this one I might actually need to grab the banner for. You want to place in another black banner, and you're going to do... So you want to do the full top half as light blue, which is per Fess. You then want to put in your black dye and do the diamond, which is Lozenge. Put back in your light blue dye, and you will do the line down the left, which is Pale Dexter, and then you will do the diagonal line from top left to bottom right, which is Bend. This will give you a sort of weird-looking R, but this is the design I decided to go with. This is completely intentional for looking like this. Actually, I didn't do it on purpose at first, but I really like how it looks, so keeping it. Put in your next black banner and do light blue dye, and you're just doing line across top and bottom, which is Chief Fess and Base Fess. And then you'll do the line down the left, which is Pale Dexter. Next letter is an A, and won't you believe it, we already have that, so we're going to do the next letter, which is a D. You'll place in, actually, a single light blue dye, and you will do the line down the right, which is Pale Sinister. Put in your black dye and do the Lozenge again, which is, again, the diamond. Put back in your light blue, and you'll do the line across top, which is Chief Fess, bottom, which is Base Fess, and left, which is Pale Dexter. Put in your next black banner, and you'll do line across or line down left, which is Pale Dexter, and then all three lines going left to right, which is Chief Fess, Base Fess, and Fess. That's all. So to figure out where you need to place this, because I'm not gonna make you count across on the black concrete, you want to take the mangrove, and you have these middle two blocks, which are pretty obvious here. If you are on the left one, you will count left by 2 and then up to the top and place your A banner. Then going across, you'll place R, C, A, D, E. And you'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So again, this mangrove plank up, arcade, like so. The C and the A will be above the middle, in case that is important in any way, shape, or form. Hey, look, we're almost done, actually. Yeah, we just have to finish the arcade. Yay. So, let me not forget that these are in my inventory this time and get rid of them. And you can clear your inventory along with me and get out. Mangrove slabs and stairs. Warped slabs and stairs. Smooth quartz slabs and stairs. And instead of getting out slabs and stairs of the rest, I'm going to tell you what they are and just get out the slabs so we can mark them. Red nether brick, waxed oxidized cut copper, and crimson. And I think that should be all of them. Nope, there is also acacia. So I guess if you want to get rid of the smooth quartz stairs, you can get acacia out in place of it. So really, I'll put all the slabs next to each other to start. Really, you just want to do any pattern of these, however. I'm going to tell you what I did also in order for the end rods to be placed to help light this up. So off of either end, it is 2 blocks, or off of either orange terracotta, it's 2 block gap and 2 blocks between them. The pattern I have along the actual front wall is, again, from the orange terracotta here, it's gap of 2, mangrove, gap of 2, warped, gap of 2, smooth quartz, gap of 2, red nether brick. And then you'll have the gap of 2, and then you'll hit orange. Then going back, gap of 2, warped, mangrove, acacia, and then the oxidized copper. from the one that I have as mangrove and smooth quartz, not the one closest to that inner orange terracotta, but one out. You will trace them together and find where they meet. And right here you want what I have as a mangrove again. And then going across, I guess to the right, you'll leave gap of 2, copper, gap of 2, crimson, and then you will go back with a gap of 2, smooth quartz, gap of 2, red nether brick, then going left, gap of 2, acacia, gap of 2, copper, and then forward, gap of 2, warped, and then the gap of 2 will hit you to the mangrove. So, how do you do these exactly? Well, it's quite simple. I'm actually going to just clear my inventory to start, and I'm going to just grab 1, 2, I'll grab 4, and then just kind of space them out appropriately, and then get out their stair versions as well. So, from each of the, if you placed a plank, good. If you didn't, you want a plank. Just out of the slabs. You'll then place on top of them a stair, and then a slab. Now, the orientation for these are weird. The ones on the walls obviously just kind of face out. There's nothing really weird going on here. The ones in the middle, however, are very weird. Basically, in short, if you are looking from the front wall, the leftmost 2 will face forward. I'll mark this one with a warp sub for now. The right one will face to the right, which I'll mark with a stair facing that way. And then this middle one on the right will also face right. And so will the back one. These back 2 here will face back then, which I'll also mark with more stairs. And then this one here on the left will face left. Don't ask why it's like that, it just is. If you wanted it to be even, the only thing I would change is make the red nether brick stair face back, and then the copper face left, and that would make it even. But yeah, it's a little peculiar, for sure. And then I'll get rid of everything again, and I will just grab, what do I need? Copper, crimson, acacia, is that it? Yeah. And again, I will space them properly, and get out copper. That's not even the right one, whatever. Doesn't actually technically matter. And so again, you see where I mark these, they will be facing, whatever. Oh, I messed up that. I'm so good. I also messed up that. Why? What was I doing? I guess because I was too busy thinking about the markings and not what actually I should be placing. Anyway, you'll have this. Clear your inventory and get out 3 things to finish. End rod, smooth quartz slabs, and sea lanterns. Really nothing new. These are all have been used. Sure, whatever. You want to find the direct center of the room, which is actually really easy. Is it easy? Never mind. No, it's not where I thought it was. It's if you essentially take the middle of all of these arcade machines, you will count forward diagonally to the left by 1, and then just look up. Place going down, 2 end rods, and then a sea lantern. Off each side of the sea lantern, you will place smooth quartz slabs. And then you'll bring them out, or I guess up diagonally out with an upside down smooth quartz slab per side. Like so. Each arcade machine from this point can be connected together with just really 2 end rods per. You're only connecting if they are 2 blocks away from each other. And also with that, you will connect them to the orange terracotta. This is solely for lighting. I needed something to make it a little bit brighter over here because the fan was not working. But, yeah. I did not think I was doing this in one go. This was not as bad as I thought, honestly. And, yeah, once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Refresh Series Bowling Alley interior complete. That was something, wasn't it? Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, again, I'm hyping up Refresh Hospital is next because, oh my goodness, that one's gonna be absurd. But anyway, with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night. And I will see you in the next one.